So the final part of the setup then for allotments is your waiting list. Clicking onto the waiting list on the left-hand side will give you a list view of everybody that's already there. To add a new one, either click onto the plus button next to the waiting list or the edit and add a record. Basic details you need will be to type in the tenant's name. So there is a plus button here for any new names that you want. So you can simply type these in here. And also the email address of the person for sending out any emails that you would like to address to them. Click on to save. You can add a secondary tenant if you want to. Now, as far as the site goes, if you've got multiple allotment sites, then you have the ability to choose them. So if you do know that somebody is after a specific site, then you can choose the relevant site. You can choose a plot, or obviously it can be unknown if it doesn't matter which plot they want. But the minimum information that you will need is their name and obviously that all-important application date, because that is going to house them on to the waiting list in order of that date. You can add a purpose. You can add any further additional notes that you want to with that. So if it is for all sites, then obviously just taking that away and leaving it as unknown will make sure that they sit on that unknown list, which means any plot can be applied for them. Clicking on to save will pop their name into the waiting list. Now we can see here that I've got various different positions on the waiting list, and the reason I've got various different positions is because it's maintaining a number of waiting lists for me. The easiest way to see that if you have got multiple lists is to add your column for your allotment site. So heading on to the column screen, I'm going to pop a tick in the box that says asset site, and I might want to pop that up so that it's next to the asset or plot number for me so that I can see that at a later date. Clicking on to apply, I can now see that I've got position 1, 2, 3 and 4 for my Scribe Parish allotments. I've obviously got David that's here for both the Fen Farm and Scribe Parish allotments as well. So it will house them all for you. You can then start grouping them together by the individual asset sites if needed. If you're only interested in one specific one, then you can. Sometimes people will duplicate the same person for 2 different sites or 3 different sites if they want to be able to see those individual positions on those sites. So that covers your setup for allotments. The next video in this sequence is using Scribe allotments. Thank you for joining me.